Welcome back, guys, to Horizon Zero Dawn, where last episode we continued exploring the Project Zero Dawn facility to learn more about it, hearing more logs of those chosen and their own decisions while dealing with the interruptions of the Eclipse. Having seen Elisabet Sobeck's office from the outside, we search for a way in, recently hearing about the job that Hephaestus served as we wonder what more we will discover. Steam ahead, some text again. Margot. If I doubted your brilliance in the slightest, I wouldn't have picked you as the Hephaestus Alpha. You need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. You are who you are. Have confidence in yourself. You know what you're doing. Case in point, the latest draft of your plan for the construction and stocking of bootstrap silos to store raw materials is excellent. This, combined with your design for the AM Foundry core and the Foundry site selection plan, add up to a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. One detail. Consult with Aomid Ikilo before you finalize the silo inventories. Hephaestus' first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation codes, so any exotic materials needed for the towers should be accounted for in the inventory plan. Well, in the end, it did learn how to hunt its own mineral resources, etc. Simulation results. Have I missed 2 logs? I'm wondering now. There's 2 missing in the thing. Wow, you weren't kidding about Gaia's predilection for animal morphology. Sure, not totally unexpected given the rough natural terrain her boss will have to navigate, but I agree that there's something deeper going on here. Designs aren't dysfunctional. They feel almost like, well, tributes is the word that comes to mind. As though she's already mourning their loss. And not just for the disappearing fauna of our time, but creatures from the fossil record too. References to megafauna in some of her designs. So cool. Well, whatever Gaia thinks up, Hephaestus will empower her to build. I just wish we could still be around in a century or 2 to see what she makes. Getting an excitement for it is pretty cool. Something to live for, eh? Where am I looking next?
I've seen these shapes before. In cauldrons.
But of course, the birthing places of Gaia's machines.
Well, let's keep searching. Feel like I've been thorough, but you never know. Might just be a room I didn't blunder into at some point in time. Depends if I left an arrow regarding the... well, it was a spear I was using mostly. Just above the room now. Oh, hi, guy. He dead.
I think this is it. Elisabet Sobeck's office. But it's sealed off. There's got to be a way inside.
Keep looking.
Oh, I need in.
More Eclipse.
Careful now.
I don't know, maybe you could come over and do some of the handiwork. Not a bad idea, I don't think. Damn it. I knew I couldn't, but it was worth a try. Sneaky does it. Ah, Hera's testimonial.
Dr. Sobeck, please archive this testimonial in Apollo. Cross-reference to all mentions of my name and Operation Enduring Victory. My name is General Aaron Harris. From 2060 to 2066, I served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest-ranked officer of the United States Armed Forces. The tenure of my command included strategic planning, and oversight of Operation Enduring Victory. A falsehood perpetrated on the civilian populations of the United States and other nations during the last 14 months of life on this planet. Before the Pharaoh Plague, I did my job and did it well. I was bold and decisive, crafty in political maneuvers. It wasn't an accident that I rose to my position and became the commander of the largest mechanized force ever assembled. But to what end? My only lasting achievement was the extinction of life on Earth. And my one redeeming act, if any, was to delay that extinction by days or weeks, by throwing more death at it. It is my hope that there will be no need for men like me in the world to come. If you are one of the people of that future world listening to this message, please know that I am sorry and that I wish you well. Sincerely, Aaron Harris.
I'd like to think that he's a good man. He was a good man. He did what was needed. Don't know how he got there. Know that he ended up throwing loads of people's life away and gave them orders that literally just led to their deaths.
Welcome to Apollo, the collective memory of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for
Now's not the
future
time.
generations. I am Samina Ebaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in Cradle facilities around the world, ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries, 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third, the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo, progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
Gamifying things, yeah. The future of humanity had to learn about our past by playing Mario's Missing. That's a very interesting game that was as well. More text data. Oh, we're getting the early ones now. From Samina Ebjaji, I don't know how to pronounce that, even though I just heard it. Elisabet Sobeck. Subject, encapsulated DNA, and the winner is encapsulated DNA! Over the past 10 days, I performed an exhaustive review of data storage solutions, magnetic, optical, quantum, even that eternity tech that FAS was shilling a year or so ago. But every other solution has one or more fatal shortcomings: too heavy to transport, too massive to install in the allotted space, too power intensive over the centuries, too prone to failure past 300-400 years, etc. Encapsulated DNA will easily hold the 40 plus zettabytes we're projecting for Apollo. There are still many details to finalize, of course. To start with, we need to select the inert material in which we'll embed the molecules, already testing 16 candidate materials, as well as design and fabricate the power systems and sealed reliquaries that will keep the DNA at minus 18 degrees C for 100,000 years, yeah. 1,000 years plus. long as I assure you that it didn't factor into my decision, may I confess that I deem it entirely fitting, indeed propitious, that we'll be using the very building blocks of life to preserve human knowledge from mechanized extinction? It's not just ironic, but heroic. Life as the hero, beating back the forces of oblivion. In any case, much ado. Till next time, peace be with you. Samina. Yes, a gamified approach is a good approach for the project they're intending to do. Without a doubt. They know that stuff is addictive. Is number one. But number two, another data log down here. Apollo update. They know it works. It keeps people interested, especially when they don't have what a model of education is. You need as many hooks as you can get. Over the past 2 months, the full benefit of our procurement of a copy of the Homer archive from Far Zenith has made itself known. As a result, all of Apollo's key deliverables are on schedule. Apollo has already surpassed 40 million discrete data entries and continues to grow. The physical science modules are effectively complete, with soft science modules close behind. World history, cultural data, and media archives are also on schedule. Language preservation is wrapping up a bit ahead of schedule due to falling short of our goal to preserve 4,500 languages. I suppose the tragic early loss of Papua New Guinea doomed that goal from the outset, with attendant curricula development about to begin. Speaking of the heuristic curricula, they are performing well in testing, with children and adolescents demonstrating high levels of engagement with and trust in the Aristotle and Aspasia personae. Personally, I find them highly engaging, especially when they debate. I wish half my professors had been so entertaining. They had the AI debating, like AI teachers with their own points of view. It's kind of cool. Right then, to battle. I mean, he's kind of hidden amongst everything, so I think that'll be fine.
I've been
She's
seen.
coming for us!
That, however, was a misclick. Oh, I thought I'd make it around the corner in time. Turned out I did not.
Get a move on it!
Oh, bam. Nice dodge. Maybe Dusty. Good shot, though.
The last of them. On once more.
In what should have been a cave of wonders. Look around. See if anything is left.
Clearly does it. I need my potions back. That's what I'm after. I am reaping as much information as I can. I like to think he's just back in like a place, just sitting down, chilling with a cup of coffee. Just making someone else do the work or listening to all this information he's been waiting for all his life. Bit of a get. I think we could figure out from early days that he was a bit of a user. Right, so I'm supposed to go over there. But am I? I've got to make sure I don't miss any logs, right? We got the log that was up there. That's already been obtained, looked at, checked. Hey, Mr. Draped, you're about to become a skeleton down here over time. Enjoy! Seem to be anything hiding away in the back, does it? What the hell's that noise about? Not sure I like unexplained noises. These are weapons that we've had people drop ages ago. So yeah, didn't load anything in the main chamber. This is not accessible. Not a thing. It's my destination. Hey, I'm missing much in there.
Welcome to Hades.
Hey, it's Travis.
Zero Dawn's extinction failsafe protocol.
Oh, of course it's Travis.
The ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a subordinate function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? Just plumb crazy, ain't it? Well, no, it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine you're Gaia 200 years from now and this new biosphere growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos, a spinning top that won't stop wobbling. Now what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do, which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocate it. But you get the idea. Hades takes the biosphere back to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal. So welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
Okay, so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct?
We need more data.
And how does it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh Titan, getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
I'm learning as you are, Aloy. Keep searching.
Yep, it's the big reset button. Start again. Everything didn't work exactly as we wanted it to. And it's out and about. Trying to do whatever it's trying to do. Noise complaints, eh? Better go over it again so I get the thing. From Travis Tate to Elisabet Sobeck. Subject: noise complaints. Color me confounded, Lizzie. Bashcore? Anyone who says the old TT goes to Bashcore is straight up lying. You know it. Old Trav don't have no truck with commercialized razzle dazzle. Nuh-uh. Heck, I'd rather guzzle a liter of Stidderum runoff than listen to Grey Swarm for 30 seconds, hand to God, and swear on my mama's grave she was religious. Now they ain't Bashcore blasting the Hades lab, shaking the walls, rattling folks' teeth. It's death metal, girl. Classical music. Oh my god, it really is. 80s and 90s mostly. Got me some Dutch deathcore, some Japanese gore grinds, some Swedish cannibal theme stuff too. Stop by if you want to listen. Or heck, just come within 50 meters of the lab. Ain't no Bashcore you'll see, or hear rather, in the screech that rends the air. And feel the throbbing pulse of the floor and walls and ceiling swallowing you up like you was Jonah, trapped in the gullet of gothic deathfish. Hallelujah. Or hallelujah. As for those who request to turn it down, no good do, Lizzie. This is how I code. Turn down my death metal, might as well give up stimulants, chocolate malts, and industrial accident vids. Last I heard, we were supposed to be coding Hades down here. Am I really supposed to code an extinction protocol without death metal to inspire me? Nah, I don't think so. Stay cool. Trev, how could he hear himself think? I mean, I could. I'd be able to thrive in that environment. You're not listening to it. You're just being immersed in it to occupy a part of your brain that could potentially get bored while you were working. That's how I actually do a lot of my stuff. Like YouTube editing and all that stuff. Gotta have something on the side that you're not really paying attention to, but is occupying a small part of your brain so you can focus on the task at hand. Works for me. Tate here, just popped 3 blues, but I earned it. Finally figured out a Goldilocks solution to Gaia's rather extreme executive authority. If that ain't worth 10 and 12 hours of dream time, what is? Before this, every usurpation even. Protocol I designed failed in simulation because it was either too hard or too soft. Too hard and degraded the Gaia core. Sure, it pried her figurative fingers off the figurative driving wheel so Hades could take control, but by breaking her fingers, sometimes her arms too, so that couldn't fly. Everything depends on Gaia taking control back after Hades has done its business, so I had to find a solution that didn't leave Gaia any worse for the wear. Too soft and Gaia only pretended to relinquish control. In simulation after simulation, Hades would take command of the terraforming system and reverse operations only to have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly re-reversing processes and falsifying telemetry to hide its interference. Sneaky. I swear, ain't nothing Gaia wouldn't do to keep life going, even when it's just simulated plant life. Turns out the just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective code shell, preserving its integrity, then unseat it from command position, so Hades can slip into the figurative captain's chair and work his magic. Those blues are coming on strong now, so I'm not really describing so clear, but pretty sure it'll work. Yeah, those blues are plenty strong. Guess it's time to sleep and bed. Back to it tomorrow, alligators. The Hades Protocol. There's more. Another text log. Archive abuse. My god, controller. From Samina Ebbachi to Travis Tate, CCing. Okay, Elisabet Sobeck, archive abuse. Mr. Tate, this mail concerns Apollo Archive submission, sub-numbers. Your 666th submission in just 5 days, and oh, what a doozy. Despite earlier warnings, i.e. inappropriate materials, you chose to submit 265 holographic remasters of acknowledged classics of extreme exploitation cinema. Allow me then to thank you on 2 counts. 1, for giving me the pleasure of rejecting your submission, thereby consigning your favorite Eastern European torture flicks and their ilk to the dust heap of oblivion. It truly warms my heart to know that I have saved future humanity from the ordeal of experiencing not just 1, but all 16 of installments of Making a Millipede. I wonder what that is. Don't worry, the Pasolini material has already been preserved. Extreme perhaps, but art. 2, for clarifying a concept that has so long been ambiguous and ethically fraught for archivists such as myself, the definition of obscenity you have freed me from the subjective quagmire embodied in Judge Potter's famous utterance. I know it when I see it. Thanks to you, I can now apply a single objective criterion. If Travis Tate submitted it, it's obscene. Accordingly, I have directed Apollo staff to summarily reject all of your future submissions sight unseen. Perhaps you might invest the time you would have spent preparing further submissions on, oh, I don't know, your assigned work. We have a world to save after all. Or the rest of us do anyway. He was the one people butted heads with, but he had a job to do and he was doing his job. Everyone works in different ways. Everyone has different mechanisms to get through it. Oh, we're entering cave terrain.
Looks like the only way onwards.
How do I get back in? How do I get in the office? Well, okay. Central computer. It might pop on if I move too far, so I better read this from here. Oh, it's definitely going to pop on. This is the FZ chambers. The ectogenic chambers arrived 2 days ago. I spent the last 36 hours examining them and poring over technical documentation. They're a revelation. Astonishing. I don't know what you had to give Far Zenith in trade to get these chambers, but it was worth it. A single leap, their embryologists have vaulted past 50 years of technological shortcomings. I think we know what's next. The risks of ECMO, resolved. Nutrition delivery, resolved. Hormonal stability, resolved. 12 other risk areas, resolved. Before I examined these chambers, I considered the Odyssey to be a fool's errand. But if the rest of FC's technology is at its level, well, a human colony around Sirius doesn't seem so impossible after all. Mass fabrication of the chambers will present a number of challenges, but I'm confident they can be resolved. I'm going to rest for a few hours and get back to it. It's Expect a fabrication plan within 48 hours. PBK. Alright, let's step forward then. And let the thing come on.
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions. For it is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist. I am Patrick Brochard-Klein, the alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not alter it. A snapshot of human genetic diversity, literally frozen in time. The genetic quintessence of our species, unmodified. Under my watch, our activities and initiatives will comply with the 2034 clone provisions and the 2048 Rally Accords. Now that may seem a quaint, even trivial concern to you in light of present circumstances, but as one of the authors of the Accords, it is far from trivial to me. The practical challenges before us are staggering in scope and complexity, but not insurmountable. No. Global collation and provisional storage of zygotes, perfection of exogenic technologies, design and perfection of servitors, to provide nurture and inculcation during early child development. All of these program components must and will proceed in tandem. To say nothing of the breakneck construction of Cradle facilities at sites around the world. So, si vous êtes prêts, let us begin.
This is where the magic happened in some regards. I didn't know you could activate them again. I guess they say the same message, right? There. I realized it was deep enough. Yeah. These are
these what I think they are?
Artificial wombs. Machines to spawn a new generation of human beings.
somewhat fairly active, if a bit dusty. Cradle Servitor Personae. From Patrick Brochard-Klein to Elisabet Sobeck. Development of the artificial personae for Cradle Servitors, Nurturer Disciplinarian Healer continues at a good pace. We are targeting Turing 0.4 for these constructs. This should allow low-grade empathy and limited improvisation without undermining adherence to codified behavior sets. The stimulus-driven switching of personae, however, is proving to be a greater software challenge than anticipated, especially concerning our entrenched feedback loops between the disciplinarian and healer personae. I have also attached a report of an incident where a servitor running the mother personae intervened on disciplinarian servitor's personae. Behavior, whatever! A parental argument, if you will, amusing on first glance perhaps, but deeply concerning. I have attached a comprehensive plan for correcting these interactive protocol shortcomings in just near the rest. They cared too much about the children. Yay, Ridgewood. Cradle sealed. Eleuthia 01 was successfully sealed before the swarm advancing across Xinjiang province could detect it. Xinjiang. Sure, I butchered that. Being back from crucial systems is good. For our maiden voyage, a success. Regards my disputes with the betas over zygote selection, of course I understand we have limited overhead to run simulations of gene flow in our future humans. We can all agree there is margin for refinement in future cradle populations. Donk, in addition to personally overseeing completion of the Eleuthia 02 site inside Mount Muli, I will formulate and propose a modified zygote selection plan within the week. I guess they had to think about, like, what you would call, like, the native population of an area. Would you restore that? You know, the identity of that previous area? Or would you have a complete mix. I'm assuming people would have been leaning towards a mix more this time, but maybe that was the case there, that it wasn't a mix. I don't know. I mean, I'd have thought mix would be the best option. People of every race in every area to a somewhat equal amount, on the basis of considering how much that's been a sticking point, a warring point. It was just normal and there wasn't like an overabundance. Imagine how it might cease some kind of social unrest, but then said...
Cradle facilities. Elisabet said a new generation of humans would be spawned inside such places.
She did.
All Mother Mountain. It was one of them?
There's only one way to be sure.
The hatch wouldn't open. Something about a corrupted alpha registry. I need to search Elisabet's office.
Indeed. Yeah, you'd hope that they didn't, like, invent the concept of... all the things that befell us, let's put it that way. You'd hope
Full already.
that they wouldn't follow that mistake. But you just don't know. I mean, they fell into a tribal society and all. That's division right there. No, I want to go over there, but I got camera issues. Come on, there we go.